are now entering Armbar Audio.
Hello, and welcome to episode 10 of Armbar Audio. This is Tim Farley, your host, and alongside me is my trusted companion,
John Kearns. What's up, folks?
So we got a lot to talk about, a lot of WWE to talk about, but first, we're going to hit you with some news. First off, there's a lot of congratulations to go around. Nia Jax, who reappeared on Monday Night Raw this week, received 2 awards as well. She received the Association of National Advertisers #SeeHerNow award this past weekend, and now she has been named one of the 2018 Today Style Heroes. Nia was recognized due to an Instagram post she made back in April 6, 2017. Jax was honored by Today with 39 other influential trailblazers, including Helen Mirren, Gabrielle Union, Drew Barrymore, Simone Biles, and others. Jax spoke with Today's Style and commented on feedback she received to the photo. "I remember I posted a picture of me in a bathing suit, and that was something that I was very nervous about. I was having a lot of issues with just a lot of social media trolls. People would try to make fun of my size and my weight to the WWE and whatnot. I just decided to go out there and post a picture of me in a bathing suit. I said, you know what? This is my body. I'm going to embrace it, and I'm going to show the world. So I posted it on Instagram, not thinking it would be that big of a deal. And I got such great feedback, and my fans, my close friends, and family telling me how inspiring I was to them, and that they got more confidence in the fact that I went and showed basically one of my most vulnerable parts to the world." Jax also talked about being embarrassed with her backside while growing up and how she has since learned to embrace her curves. "I'm inspired to post a lot of positive messages on my social media because growing up I felt as though I needed somebody that looked like me in the limelight or in entertainment to promote being different and promote accepting your differences," Jax said. I feel great about this. Nia Jax, it's hard for people to open up about issues that, or even issues that they think are issues and vulnerabilities. And
Definitely.
The fact that so many outlets are recognizing her for that is a great thing.
And being cool about it, too.
Yeah, and congratulations to her. Another congratulations goes to Madison Rayne, or as Mae Young Classic watchers would know her as Ashley Rayne. She has worked predominantly for TNA and Impact Wrestling, but has this week signed to Women of Honor, the women's division of Ring of Honor. I'm really looking forward to that and to see what they do with Madison, as her, I've said multiple times, her career, I could break into the 3 sections, and this section is really the section of her career where she is showing her in-ring acumen. How do you feel about that, John?
It's something that I'm excited to see because you got people in Women of Honor. You've got Tenille Dashwood, formerly known as Emma. Their champion,
Sumi Sakai.
Never remember her name. Yes, Sumi Sakai. She's amazing. And you got other women from Impact showing up down there all the time. It only makes sense for Madison to be signed there officially.
Mae Young Classic participant Karen Q shows up. Jenny Rose, the Ode Thai girls. It's all.
I'm excited.
It's coming together.
You got Tessa showing up there too a lot.
Really?
Sometimes, yeah.
I haven't seen her.
Usually on like pay-per-views. But and Ashley did really well in her first and only WWE match so far, losing to Mercedes Martinez, but it was still a great match, and probably one of the ones that the crowd was most hyped for so far in the tournament, I would say.
Yeah. I just want to, before we get into more news, I do want to let the listeners know that we will be talking about the Mae Young Classic. We are going to go live for the WWE Evolution pay-per-view for live reactions.
Yeah. And
a half hour earlier, we are going to do a comprehensive talk about the Mae Young Classic. So, as you know, John and I love women's wrestling. During Women's History Month on the Omega Cast, we did a whole expose every week. So don't be bummed out if we don't talk about the Mae Young Classic. From here on out, we will be talking about it during the pre-show to our live reactions to Evolution. So with that PSA, another congratulations goes to Mia Yim. While no official announcement has been made by either the WWE or Mia Yim herself, it appears that Mia Yim has begun training at the WWE Performance Center, which would indicate that the Mae Young Classic competitor has been signed by the company. In a tweet sent out by NXT's Twitter account this week, it stated that our female superstars were working out at the PC, and at the 1:14 mark of the video, Mia Yim is spotted working alongside the other NXT women. Mia Yim herself retweeted the video. The video comes 2 days after Yim posted a photo on her social media of her and her current boyfriend, current NXT superstar Keith Lee, at Disney World on Sunday with the words, "Perfect celebration before a new chapter," most likely
awesome.
Referencing her start with the WWE on Monday. Mia Yim has been one of the most popular and dominant women's wrestlers of the past decade. The 29-year-old Yim has been wrestling for nearly a decade, starting with the likes of Jersey All Pro Wrestling and joining Shimmer soon after. She has worked for Shine, CZW, AIW, Beyond Wrestling, where she actually wrestled Keith Lee in one of his last matches, I think at the Solid Gold pay-per-view or special. WSU, Smash, and Southside Wrestling Entertainment, and most people would know her as former Impact Knockout Jade, and she was in the Dollhouse. She is also roommates of former NXT champion Shayna Baszler and Jessamine Duke. So it seems like it's still speculated, but it's pretty much a shoo-in that Mia Yim is signed to WWE.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy about this.
Definitely.
Our last congratulations goes to this past weekend, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, a.k.a. the Mecca for indie wrestling, held its annual Battle of Los Angeles, otherwise known as BOLA, where it comes down to 3 competitors wrestling for the right for a championship match. This year, it came down to Jeff Cobb, also known as Matanza Cueto, Shingo Takagi, who I've been following for years, had an amazing match with Daniel Bryan for Dragon Gate USA back in the day, whenever Daniel Bryan got cut from NXT. Or whenever, he choked Justin Roberts. Mm-hmm. But that match is amazing. If anyone listening has never heard of Shingo Takagi, look up Bryan Danielson versus Shingo Takagi. It'll blow you away. And Bandito, who's having a breakout year. And Jeff Cobb ended up winning.
Our listeners would most recently know Bandito from his 6-man tag showing at All In.
Yes. Last year, Cobb was in the finals, but he came up short with Ricochet winning. So this year, he got the cup, and he has the title shot whenever he wants to cash in on Walter, who is the current champion And if that match happens...
Man, Jeff Cobb versus Walter, when that happens, we're going to talk about that.
Yeah, if Walter keeps the title.
Yeah.
There's speculation that... now, we've talked about this before. When they were trying to sign Keith Lee, they were also trying to sign Walter.
Yeah.
But Walter wanted to keep expanding the German scene and the UK scene, and I came upon some news that the WWE has kind of sent him a NXT UK contract to where he would be able to work the UK shows and also work certain things like Progress and everything else that's affiliated with WWE.
Okay. Now, if he were to accept that, would they send Axel Dieter Jr. over there so they could tag or keep him on regular NXT?
I have no idea, but
interesting.
I would imagine.
What's Axel Dieter Jr.
Marcel Barthel.
Yeah, Marcel Barthel. Yeah,
but he uses the ring conf music.
Yeah,
so.
Just in case people don't know who Axel Dieter Jr. is, it's on NXT. He goes by Marcel Barthel.
Yeah. In other news regarding PWG Bola, William Regal was there all weekend scouting talent, and he sent out a tweet that said, "I'd like to thank every one of the staff and competitors at PWG for their hospitality the last 2 nights." It is speculated that WWE officials are interested in signing indie star Brody King, according to Dave Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer Radio. King stands at 6 foot 5 inches and weighs in at 285 pounds. Meltzer speculated that WWE will want King to change his body type, but it was noted that he will likely end up in WWE developmental soon. New Japan Pro Wrestling also wants to sign King to a deal, which could have something to do with why WWE is so hot on him. I still think that Brody King isn't ready for that type of... if he got signed at developmental, he would need to be off NXT TV for at least a year. I believe he was trained by Santino Marella, and I think he trained a little bit at the New Japan Dojo in LA or whatever. He's a big indie star right now. He's kind of had a breakout year, but he's still really new to the scene. He's featured on MLW, Fusion. He's been everywhere this year, but I think that, if he goes to New Japan, he could learn more. But if he goes to WWE, he would have to be in developmental for a while.
Yeah. Kind
of like what they did with Axel Dieter Jr. and some other indie big-name talents.
Yeah, he was
instead of shooting them onto TV.
Yeah, Dieter was signed for a long time before he ever showed up on TV.
Yeah, he was working house shows for a very long time.
Same with the Forgotten Sons, which I think was more for Blake and Steve Cutler than it was for Gunner, because Gunner could have been on NXT like 2 years ago.
Well, I think they wanted to repackage Gunner and
Jackson Riker.
Yeah. He was actually on this last week's NXT, and he was awesome.
He annihilated the guy he was in there with.
Dude,
I don't even remember his name.
I don't remember his name either.
It was
on a tweet.
Something Carrillo.
Yeah.
Humberto Carrillo.
Yeah.
Something like
And as soon as he came out, I thought to myself, he should be tagging with Raul Mendoza.
Yeah.
As soon as I thought that, somebody tweeted, one of the big wrestling Twitters
Twitter people,
that he does tag with him on NXT house shows.
Ah.
I was like, that's awesome.
That's cool.
I can't wait to see them
definitely
be a
them
tag
versus
team.
Forgotten Sons should probably be a thing.
Yeah. All right. So, going from that, there is a bit of sad news. Alexa Bliss is currently out of action with an arm injury. The storyline is that Bliss suffered the injury during the WWE Hell in a Cell match with Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey. Bliss was pulled from Season 2 of a mixed match challenge and will at least miss the upcoming weekend of WWE live events. There was some talk of Bliss rejoining the MMC competition if she's able to get cleared in time, but Ember Moon has replaced her in the team with Braun Strowman. In an update on Bliss's injury, the Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that Bliss is suffering from numbness in her left arm.
Oh.
Which is not good.
No.
The Observer adds that the injury happening Hell in a Cell is just part of the storyline. Bliss is only cleared for minimal exertion right now, so she will be able to work a limited role. It's possible Bliss acts as a manager for some of the other female heel superstars at live events, but word is that she's been pulled altogether. Bliss is currently scheduled to face WWE Hall of Famer Trish Stratus at the All-Women's Evolution pay-per-view on October 28th. No word yet on if she's expected back in time for that match, but we will keep you updated.
I would be absolutely devastated for her if she has to miss the first ever women's pay-per-view. That would be a shot to the fucking gut.
Yeah, especially with
like for
such
her,
a marquee match.
For her, I'm not saying like, oh, it's so sensitive. And it would. I know people don't like her, but like...
Well, think about Alicia Fox, man.
You gotta think of the person here. Like, she could miss quite possibly the biggest night of her career at the first ever all-women's pay-per-view event.
Yeah, but you also gotta think of like... Alicia Fox, man, she missed the Royal Rumble. She missed practically every big milestone because either injury or she was in the doghouse or whatever. Yeah. I just think it would really blow if Alexa missed this because she's very comparable to Trish Stratus in the fact that the way they work in the ring, their mic skills. You know, Trish might have been taller than her, and Mandy Rose looks like Trish. But when it comes to in-ring style and talking ability, you got to give it to Alexa. And that's such a marquee match, even without the title.
Also, when it comes to sheer wrestling ability, you got to give it to Alexa over Mandy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, from that, we will speak about... there were a couple of releases.
Get well soon, Alexa.
Yes, please. And all the people out there who are saying that Alexa Bliss is being shoved down your throat like Roman Reigns, you're an absolute moron.
She's really not.
No, because
she got over quite organically.
Yes, and she was in NXT longer. She got over as a manager. She came up. It was different. And she was great on the mic from the start.
And she survived a dead-in-the-water gimmick at first, too.
Oh, that Bliss stuff. Yeah. There's a couple of releases to talk about. For Impact fans, you'll know him as Mahabali Shera. He signed to WWE Developmental earlier this year in January, and he has been released this past week. So who knows where he'll end up. He was kind of entertaining in Impact, but I think there's better talent, Indian talent being developed in the WWE developmental system right now.
I have no information on this, so I'm not gonna speculate.
Yeah. So, yeah, Mahabali Shera is a free agent, whatever. He didn't even last 2/4 of a year in WWE.
2/4 would be a half, Tim.
Yeah, thanks. The other release, Andrew Everett, who was tagging with DJZ as Z&E and had a little run with the Impact titles, asked for his release from Impact and was granted it. He made a Twitter message putting over the company saying that there was nothing malicious. He just wanted to test out the free agency. I don't think that WWE is going to hire him right away. I think the next route for him is probably a tour in Japan of Dragon Gate or DDT. He's very good. He's a very good flippy guy. His character needs a little work. He came up with Trevor Lee, in PWG in their tag team tournaments. They were always prominent. It just seems like with both Trevor Lee and Everett, they need to get their characters in order. So Andrew Everett is a free agent now. It'll be interesting to see where he lands. No pun intended.
I feel like the decision to move into free agency is always, it has to be a very taxing and hard decision to make.
Yeah, it's especially
when you're finding success where you are already.
Right, but at the same time, maybe he felt like creative was looking at other people to focus on.
Yeah, that, or maybe felt like he was in a rut.
Maybe he watched All In and was like, you know what? I'm gonna see what I could do on the independents. I'm gonna see what I can make a mark elsewhere. And
I've had the feeling of being in a rut before. It's a hard feeling to overcome, but it is a very real feeling at times. Even for people, people might say, "Oh, well, he's a big time wrestler. He should be happy with the salary he's getting." That doesn't stop you from feeling like you're stuck in like purgatory. You know what I mean?
Right?
Yeah.
Right. Another piece of news: WWE announced their next event from Saudi Arabia will take place on Friday, November 2nd, which I believe is a week after the WWE Evolution pay-per-view, which is
people on Twitter are super happy about it.
Yeah. It's kind of like Evolution is like a apology before the transgression's made. It's like we're gonna give you full pay-per-view so you guys don't feel shitty about us going to Saudi Arabia.
Everybody says that, but I still never saw any women be like, "Oh, we didn't get to go to the Saudi Arabia show. We're so sad."
Yeah, I think it's more for the fans and stuff.
Well, they're just being shitty then. Like it's not that big a deal.
It kind of is.
How?
Because
the women don't get to be on 2 shows out of the entire year.
Going to Saudi Arabia, you are basically saying that it's okay for them to do things the way they do. And
okay, well then the same blame has to be put on every musician, sports league, or any entertainer that goes there. But it's not. Not that I see.
I would like you to come up with a list of the people who have went there.
Well, I don't know. It just seems like another thing.
And the McMahons are tight with Donald Trump. I mean,
no shit. But it's just
Linda's on in his cabinet or whatever.
It's just whenever something like this happens, it seems like if there's fuel on the fire for the WWE universe
to get political,
that loves to do nothing but shit on the product that they claim to love.
Right.
You know what I mean?
To get political.
Yeah.
And to me, personally, I separate my political beliefs from my entertainment.
Yeah.
So, I'm not going to get political here. But, it's... I wrote a tweet, from someone that said, we can't just expect WWE to go into Saudi Arabia and tell them how to live and this and that. And I said,
that's true.
I said, why? Our military does it all the time. And this person
WWE's
laughed.
Not the military.
This person laughed and understood that it was a joke. And like you said, WWE is not the military.
And
so you know what? If they want to go to Saudi Arabia and make a bunch of money, then that's on them. And if you don't like that, then you don't have to fucking watch.
And
like, I'm going to watch.
If that money allows them to get funding to build sets for WrestleMania like the one we just got to fucking see,
yeah,
go get your money.
And you know what? What if the partnership, or this stuff with Saudi Arabia,
it could lead to change. It could lead to change.
Exactly.
But it's not going to happen overnight, and that's what I feel like everybody expects.
Right. Everybody just has an opinion. They post it quickly, whether they mean it or not.
You saw women and little kids in the audience at the first Saudi Arabia show that nobody expected to see.
Right. They must have been special.
I mean, they were probably family of some of the
Shaws,
like,
or whatever.
Yeah, or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know how politics works.
Anyway,
I'm a wrestling fan.
This is called Crown Jewel. We had Great Balls of Fire last year.
Was Chase Owens going to be there?
That's what I was wondering. I made a post on Twitter that was like, where the hell's Chase Owens? But
I was at Hot Topic today, saw a Chase Owens Crown Jewel t-shirt. I was like, go ahead, Chase Owens. Get yourself a t-shirt.
You flabby son of a bitch.
Get yourself a t-shirt.
But what I was going to say was, we had Great Balls of Fire.
You tall Drew Gulak looking dude.
We had Great Balls of Fire last year. We're getting Crown Jewel this year. I'm waiting for Purple-Headed Yogurt Slinger.
Okay.
I mean, how far can they go with the innuendos until it's just, we're going to name it after dicks and balls? Like, you can't. Well, anyway. It has been announced.
They're doing that World Cup thing there, right?
I'm getting there.
Oh, I don't know.
It has been announced.
Only piece of news that I read about it.
That Brock Lesnar, Braun Strowman, and Roman are going to battle it out for the title. And also, we will have a World Cup type tournament to determine the best in the world.
Oh wow!
So
Okay.
Another rumored match for Crown Jewel
is that actually what they're calling it?
Yes. A rumored match for Crown Jewel is Kane and Undertaker versus Triple H and WWE Hall of Famer Shawn Michaels, who would be coming out of retirement. WWE has not announced this match as of the writing. No, it would be a separate match.
It would be cool if they were like special entrants in the tournament.
I think it's gonna play off of the Super Showdown thing.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Kane's in Taker's corner and Michaels is in Triple H's corner.
So yeah, that goes for Crown Jewel. The last bit of news. I know it's been long, but this past week,
a lot of stuff happening.
This past week, Impact officials met with WWE officials.
At first,
via PW Insider, Impact Wrestling officials met with WWE officials at WW headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut. Impact was represented by Ed Nordholm and Scott D'Amore, while WWE was represented by members of Triple H's team. Vince McMahon was not there. The original report noted that the meeting was a general discussion about the two companies and a chance to get everyone in the same room, not any kind of specific negotiations. An Impact source added that the meeting had nothing to do with a potential sale of the company or its video library, as neither are for sale. The Wrestling Observer newsletter now reports that Impact officials were pitching, while WWE officials were listening to their ideas. The Observer adds that the belief is that the meeting did have to do with the WWE Network and the Impact tape library. It was speculated that Impact could be interested in a deal that would see them make money by giving the WWE Network access to their footage or TV shows. Impact may have improved creatively as of late, but it continues to struggle when it comes to mainstream star power, and they continue to be a big money loser. Impact's Pop TV deal ends later this year and pays very little, if anything, and the Observer noted that the only way the promotion can make money these days is with paying TV deals. In addition to the Pop TV deal, they are making less money than before in the UK, and the only real significant TV money they have is from India. The Observer also noted how Impact may not sell the tape library because so much of their footage is used on the Fight Network, which is also ran by Anthem. But there could be some sort of deal where they are able to continue using the archived footage. WWE was in talks to purchase Impact a few years back with the idea of buying it for the tape library and then shutting it down, but they offered less money than Anthem and Billy Corgan offered. WWE and Anthem have been on good business terms as of late, as Impact allowed WWE to use footage for products on the Hardys and WWE champion AJ Styles.
Also Kurt Angle.
And Kurt Angle.
Dixie Carter was in Kurt Angle's WWE 24 episode.
Yep. So, what do you think about this? Like, where does your mind go to when you hear about this?
I am thinking we could see a potential situation where we could see the WWE Network move into a tiered system.
Yeah.
Where people that pay a little extra money might get to see new episodes of Impact on the network.
Yeah. My immediate thought...
That would be a major merger deal between two companies that many people put in separate worlds from each other.
Right. Now, you got to think about
the relationship does seem to have improved.
Right. So you got WWE in alliance with Progress, Over the Top, and ICW. Impact has a lot of American indie and Canadian indie stuff on Global Wrestling Network.
Yeah, hasn't ICW been about to be on the network for 3 years?
Yeah, they keep saying that.
What the hell?
It looks like they're using those people on the NXT UK.
Could we see a possibility where Impact allows WWE Network subscribers to have access to the Global Wrestling Network?
Maybe. Or maybe the tiered thing.
Yeah.
Because that would add more stuff to the WWE Network, like Smash Wrestling and Defy and other things that are on the GWN app.
Yeah.
My immediate thought was, if they're going to do stuff with Samoa Joe, they absolutely need Impact footage. If they're going to make another Kurt Angle DVD
and a lot of people,
Jeff Hardy DVD, it would be amazing to have that footage. Same with AJ Styles.
And a lot of people were talking about the Hardys and AJ and Samoa Joe moving into the Impact Hall of Fame.
Right.
That would have to be deals as well.
Well, that was another thing. Yeah. People were talking about who's going to be the next inductee to the Hall of Fame.
Because they announced that there is going to be one
at Bound for
the
Glory.
End of the year, right? Yeah, at Bound for Glory.
Yeah. So I'm very interested to see what happens. I am pro Impact. I'm pro
wrestling relationships. I'm pro merger.
I'm pro wrestling organizations working together.
I am pro
without touching them. If Don Callis and Scott D'Amore are still and their team is still creatively running Impact, and somehow they get on the WWE Network as well as their TV deals, allow that.
And I like seeing the Ring of Honor champion showing up at an Impact show just to be like, hey, look, I'm here.
Right. If Impact does the blood and the sex or whatever, you don't put the WWE mark on it. But if you transfer it over to the network, there you can, because the network has parental controls,
right,
and old stuff on there from the Attitude Era, all that stuff.
This is way off topic. When you said TNA or Impact gets a lot of money from India, what is that?
TV.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now, people probably aren't even going to remember this. Is Ring King still a company? Is that still a thing? Is that happening?
It's not, but I think it's what led to it. You know what I mean?
Because that
and
was...
Ring King, Mahabali Shero was huge in Ring King.
Because Ring King was really cool.
Yeah.
I liked... It was only on for like a couple months, but I watched all the episodes.
Right. So, that does it for the news.
Here we go.
So...
Review time, or highlight time.
Yes. First thing we're going to get into is MLW brought us War Games this past Friday. I don't want to go in depth. It was the team of Barrington Hughes, Cotto Brazil,
That's a big boy,
Shane Strickland, Tommy Dreamer, and John Hennigan against the Death Machines of Sawyer Fulton, Leo and Scott, and their leader, Sami Callihan, with Jimmy Havoc and Abyss. What did you like about this match? What did you not like about this match, John?
I liked seeing Abyss, for sure. He was always one of my favorites in the early TNA days, and he hasn't really been doing much on Impact as of late. I don't even know if he's still around.
That's because he's creative.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Well, is he creative or is Joseph Parks creative?
Whatever he goes by, he's creative.
I really enjoyed the crowd during the match.
Yes, I heard that
it was
the people who were there live really loved it.
Oh yeah. There was a lot of stuff that was concentrated to only one of the rings, and the other half of the crowd would pop like crazy whenever somebody hit one of the other rings.
Right.
It was really funny. I liked seeing Abyss pull out the thumbtacks. Mm-hmm. He had a little bag with him, and and Tony Schiavone goes, "Oh, what do you think he's got in that bag?" And the other guy, whose name I cannot remember, Rich Bikini, said, "Anybody who's ever seen a wrestling match knows what's in that bag."
Right.
A lot of good table spots. Cotto Brazil taking a big dive off the top of the cage was awesome.
Cotto Brazil continues to impress me every time I see
him. He was
him.
like the MVP of the match, dude.
I would say
him and
Sawyer Fulton. I liked how the Shane Strickland Sami Callihan feud
was a highlight in the match too.
Yeah, because before Shane could even enter, Sami took him out, threw him through tables and all that stuff, or pile drive him through a table. I don't remember, or did he? I think Sami did like a razor's edge through it, because I know that he also did like a razor's edge to Cotto Brazil into the cage. I liked how the cage and everything was like old school War Games.
Yeah.
I like how they did old school War Game stuff. I think that the match itself was, you can't compare MLW War Games to War Games in NXT. Okay? Because the money is just different.
Yeah.
But I think from what we saw, I liked it. Sami blamed Jimmy Havoc for the loss, where Barrington Hughes, they wrapped him in barbed wire. He was splashing people.
Yeah, Tommy Dreamer weaponized Barrington Hughes. It was pretty sweet.
Sawyer Fulton ended up getting like 18 stitches in his head.
Yeah.
It was brutal.
Well, the end of the match, they had, they basically put him in a Cobra clutch with barbed wire.
Yeah.
And just made him tap.
But something happened with Jimmy Havoc to where that Sami blamed him. And that's another feud that is happening in MLW. And
I'll tell you what,
we got it during the whole Impact versus UK.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. If you don't know Jimmy Havoc, and if you are sensitive to blood and gore, do not pay attention to the Sami Callihan and Jimmy Havoc feud, because it is going to be violent and it is going to be gruesome. I guarantee you that.
So I'd say it was a success for MLW.
It was.
I liked it.
I watched it on YouTube.
Right.
So So I didn't get to see any of the other matches that they did.
The other matches were not on there.
They weren't on there?
A lot of the times, like they did with Battle Riot.
I hate that. Everybody on YouTube makes me think that I'm missing shit.
Right. The thing about Battle Riot, like with Battle Riot, and I'm sure this upcoming Fury Road thing,
yeah,
they space them out. They'll like promote Battle Riot, and that will be the episode. But then the rest of the stuff they tape will be the fusion episodes.
See, that's what I thought.
That's what will happen with War Games and So, Court Bauer put out a tweet, who is the CEO of the company, and said, "What do you want to see going forward into 2019 from MLW?" And I responded, and I said, a subscriptions-based service partnering with Shimmer Women's Athletes, Dragon Gate in Japan, and The Crash from Mexico. I told him I'd pay $20 for it, and I said, and your special events, which are taped, like War Games, Battle Riot, Fury Road, put them on the subscription service and have your MLW Fusion be the separate TV show, which were all liked by Court Bauer. Yay! So hopefully that happens. John, what do you want to see from MLW going forward?
I want to see some live touring. I want to see an actual tour of small venues.
Well, they have been they've gone to New York. They're going to Chicago.
And I don't think it was Court Bauer. It was somebody, but he was saying about how. I don't think it was Court Bauer, but I think somebody that was working with MLW said, "Where do you want to see MLW next?" And I said, Stage AE in Pittsburgh. Let's go. I want to see these guys live. And more touring. A subscription-based service, like you said, would be awesome.
Shimmer, the reason I said that is because Shimmer has been talking about the subscription-based service, the VOD on demand coming, but it hasn't come yet. And they are currently about to do a weekend of shows that will be Shimmer Volume 100 through 104. If you go to their website to buy their most recent DVDs, it's in the early 80s. Yeah. Like Ruby Riott, Allie, and Dakota Kai are on the cover.
Yeah.
So they take a very long time with their DVDs. So just do it and help them to do it to get on VOD. Gabe Sapolsky,
Court Bauer's been around for a long time. He should have the money to get it going, right?
Yeah, and Gabe Sapolsky, who ran Evolve, did Dragon Gate USA, which dissolved once he put all of his effort into Evolve and WWN. And Dragon Gate is aside from DDT, I think they're like neck and neck for number 2 in Japan. And people in the West need to see Dragon Gate. There's so much talent there. The same with The Crash. You got CMLL, you got AAA, and you have this promotion that started like a year or two ago. They have amazing cards, but they don't have any, they don't put anything on YouTube. They don't have a video service. They don't put any pay-per-views out. So, okay, Tessa Blanchard is your women's champion and she shows it off, but what does that really mean? You were at the WrestleCon stuff during Mania weekend, and that was great, but that's literally the only thing I can find of your promotion. So if Court can get that together with them, I mean, it would be amazing.
Yeah.
It would be absolutely amazing. But yeah. Those were the 3 that I suggested because they're 3 niche audiences. You got luchadors, you got strong style, you got women.
I want to see MLW work with NWA. Get Billy Corgan in there.
I want NWA to work with everybody.
Get Court Bauer and Billy Corgan together and create something amazing.
That wouldn't be bad.
Yeah.
But I think they're looking at, now that they put the title on Cody, it's going to be defended at the Death Before Dishonor tapings, not the show. Cody's going to wrestle Willie Mack for the title.
Willie Mack.
He's going to put up the title, which is awesome that Willie Mack is going to be on an ROH show.
Yeah. People would know him from Ring of Honor. Or, not Ring of Honor, Lucha Underground.
Did you know that he was signed to NXT?
No.
And before he even got off the ground, they wiped him away. Yeah,
that sucks.
They released him. Probably due to his
Probably
weight.
based on his size, yeah.
It was before Kevin Owens.
Mr. McMahon likes big sweaty men.
Yeah. So that does it with our MLW talk. I know that we're almost an hour in. We're going to get to Hell in a Cell review.
We're going to rush the fuck through this.
Yeah, we're going to rush through the Hell in a Cell review because I'm sure we both feel the same way.
Right before we do this, I do want to mention something that got me excited that I randomly remembered while we were talking about LNW. I have talked about how much I enjoyed What Culture Pro Wrestling in the past. What Culture Pro Wrestling is no more, but it has evolved into what is now known as Defiant Wrestling, where Stu Bennett, formerly known as Wade Barrett, is the general manager.
I think he also...
he's the owner. The general manager is this guy named Primate.
I think he also does that for World of Sport.
I think so. But What Culture Pro Wrestling had a show free on YouTube called Loaded, which ever since Defiant has started, it has not been a thing. But just this week, it was announced that Defiant is bringing back Loaded that will be free on YouTube. It's going to be a weekly show on YouTube, hour long, just like any other wrestling show.
I believe you can find their special events on Fight.
Yeah, I don't know when it's going to be on or when it's starting, but it was announced that we are finally going to get to see the What Culture Pro Wrestling guys again. We're going to get to see Martin Kirby and Jimmy Havoc and Will Ospreay in a weekly wrestling basis.
Yeah, and speaking of that...
that's also where Impact picked up the guy that's with Grado.
Joe Hendry
from. That's where they picked him up from.
There's another thing there. Will Ospreay wrestled Walter
yes.
at Defiant Stacked.
Yes.
And everyone's saying it's great.
Yeah, that's available free on YouTube on the Defiant channel.
I think October 13th or 12th, the day before Bound for Glory. Over the Top Wrestling in Ireland is having its 4th anniversary, and that match has been signed.
Walter versus Ospreay again?
Yeah. Actually, all the matches that have been signed are fucking amazing, and you'll be hearing about
we'll talk
from
about
us.
Yep.
All right,
let's get into
Hell in a Cell. Start us off. What happened?
Hell in a Cell. Number one.
Pre-show we had Rusev
New Day
against New Day. I didn't think it was anything special.
No, not really. New Day won. On SmackDown, Aiden turned on Rusev for some reason.
Yeah, I loved it actually because he was.
I didn't get a chance to see Raw or SmackDown, so I'm going to count on you for this.
Well, since you brought it up, Lana has been telling Rusev to drop Aiden, and Rusev's been torn, and Aiden started saying something about, if she was less of a wife and more of a manager, blah, 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 or something like that, and Lana heard him, and Lana was like, I'm going to go tell Rusev.
Yeah.
And so he tried. Rusev had a match against Nakamura, and Aiden was trying to help, kind of cost him the match, and then afterwards, where you're looking for Aiden to ask for forgiveness, he just pummeled Rusev.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
Yeah.
Because they've been building him up to be like, kind of like, if you ever seen the movie Boogie Nights, kind of like Rusev's Mark Wahlberg and Aiden is Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Okay, I've never seen Boogie Nights.
Mark Wahlberg plays a porn star with a very large dick.
Okay.
Called Dirk Diggler. It's kind of a documentary, but not really. And Philip Seymour Hoffman is in his crew and comes out as a homosexual.
Okay.
And loves him. But he does anything he wants.
Yeah.
And I mean, Aiden Aiden's reactions to all this stuff that's going on, it's like he's a scorned lover.
Right.
And I was glad to see him being the one saying, you know, I'm not taking all this play with me anymore. I'm going to just do what I want to do.
Yeah. Now, due to time here, I think we should combine everything.
Yeah.
We'll talk about each match at Hell in a Cell and talk about what it led to on their respective brands.
Yes.
That would make sense.
So, you want to talk about New Day? New Day will be facing the Bar at Super Showdown.
The Bar.
And they had Kofi Kingston and Cesaro had an amazing match on SmackDown. Actually, SmackDown, this week's SmackDown was fantastic. Like, the matches were all great. One especially better than the others, but they were all good.
I did get to see AJ versus Cien Almas. That was good.
That was amazing. Yeah. I mean, Andrade...
I want that to happen.
Andrade is the only... Him and Samoa Joe are the only exceptions to the NXT shit.
Yeah.
Like, he's so good. Same with Elias, but Elias didn't work in NXT, so it kind of makes sense that he works.
I mean, he kind of. Well, no, I get what you're saying.
In WWE. So anyway,
after that,
so on SmackDown we had Kofi against Cesaro. Cesaro picked up the win. They're wrestling each other at the Super Showdown in Australia.
Nice.
I personally think that New Day needs something new. I think that it would be great for Kofi to eventually get a title run. Big E challenges him to a match after a few title defenses and loses in a really tight match. Xavier kind of goes to bat for Big E, who kind of starts... He doesn't turn heel, but he starts separating himself from the New Day a little bit. Xavier asks on behalf of Big E for another match. Kofi says yes, and Kofi drops it to Big E. There. You have Kofi Kingston finally getting a title. You have New Day still being a group, but doing something different. And you have a new star in Big E who deserves it. They both deserve it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, those are my thoughts on that. You have any thoughts about that? Or do you want to go to the next thing?
Now, let's move on to Randy Orton versus Jeff Hardy in the Hell in the Cell.
Holy shit!
The brand new red Hell in a Cell.
Yeah. I didn't mind the red Hell in a Cell, but I will say this.
My mom pointed out that with all the red in the arena, all the lights and the graphics and everything, it made it easier to see.
Yeah. A lot of people said the otherwise, but I agree with your mother.
Yeah.
I think this feud deserved to be in a Hell in a Cell. I'm glad that Jeff Hardy got to work in a Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
Samoa Joe and AJ Styles should have been in a Hell in a Cell, but WWE, I guess, didn't want to have more than two, because I think there was a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view where there was more than two, and it was just...
Man, nah, that's stupid, dude. If your pay-per-view is called Hell in the Cell, you should lower that cell at the top of the show, have every match in that damn cell, and then pick it up.
And that's why Hell in a Cell shouldn't be a pay-per-view.
Yeah, it shouldn't.
Because
stop naming pay-per-views after match types if they're not going to be revolved around that match type.
See, like, I would have been fine with
Extreme Rules.
The three matches.
Extreme Rules was ass this year because there was only one Extreme Rules match and it sucked.
Yes. The last Extreme Rules I liked was the one with Sheamus and Daniel Bryan, 2 out of 3 falls.
Yeah.
Chicago street fight between Punk and Jericho.
Hell yes.
And the return of Brock Lesnar against John Cena.
Against Cena in the Extreme Rules match.
Where Cody Rhodes and Big Show table match.
Yeah.
That fucking Extreme Rules was awesome.
Even the one that... Oh, no, that was a TLC. But anyway, even at TLC, when Kalisto and Big Show had that chairs match, it was, like, shockingly good.
Yeah. So, anyway, I think this match was really good. The spots in it... I mean, Randy Orton is just...
The spots in it were gruesome.
Taking a screwdriver, putting it in the earlobe. I honestly thought Jeff Hardy gave him the okay and he was just going to break the earlobe.
Yeah.
But
because he would.
Vince probably said no. I loved how
Well, unfortunately,
Jeff Hardy did something innovative inside the cell twice. He set up the ladder on the outside.
He set it up upside down.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, both of them backfired.
Yes. Whenever, and then he hung from the Hell in a Cell
and did a splash, but Randy moved and he went through a table.
But that's okay.
I wish he would have jumped off the thing.
The only thing I didn't like about this match has nothing to do with the match.
Well,
these two guys were feuding or in a feud or with the U.S. title holder Shinsuke Nakamura. Yet Shinsuke Nakamura was not on the show.
On the
so
card.
These two guys who lost or were losing to him got a spotlight feud at this pay-per-view, and Nakamura wasn't there.
Yeah, it for some reason became more about Randy Orton's inexplicable hatred for Jeff Hardy that just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, he's not the legend killer anymore. He's the legend. He's killing off big faces or whatever. So next...
But yeah, I liked actually seeing a cell match with weapons finally, again, after how many years?
Well, I think the Usos and New Day had weapons.
Yeah, but not to the gruesome extent that Jeff and Randy went with it.
Oh my god, it was sickening.
Orton got a chunk taken out of his leg.
I honestly thought, every time I see Jeff Hardy do this kind of stuff, I'm like, where was he in the big Japanese deathmatch days with Onita
definitely.
Foley and Terry Funk, man? He would have... He's nuts. I'm so surprised that he's never went to, CZW
never done,
or,
the deathmatch wrestling, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Third on the show, we have Redemption. The best result of the night. Becky Lynch defeating Charlotte Flair and walking out with the SmackDown Women's Championship.
I'm going to say this. This, by far, so far on WWE main roster programming, this was the best women's match this year. It started off with a lot of really good chain wrestling. There was a lot of good emotion built up. And that ending was so good.
Yes.
Her turning that spear into either a pin or the disarmer, I don't remember. But I do remember how she, used Charlotte's momentum against her.
Yeah.
And we finally got what we wanted. Now, on SmackDown, now that the gray area is over, it looks like they're really trying to turn her heel because she asked Charlotte to come out. She asked Charlotte to shake her hand. She wouldn't. She said, call me queen. She wouldn't. She said, put the belt on me. And then she said she was kidding. And then she called Charlotte a bitch and beat the hell out of her after telling Paige that they wouldn't fight. So it looks like WWE is trying to draw the lines of who's good and who's bad now. And the WWE fans are not allowing that to happen because people are still cheering the shit out of Stone Cold Rebecca Danielson. That's what I'm calling her from now on because she's wrestling like Daniel Bryan. She's getting pops like both of them. And she's her attitude's like Stone Cold. She's not a heel. She's not a face. She's Stone Cold, man. Stone Cold was a tweener. I'm sorry. I get excited. I'm sorry.
Every time you do that, it's like... Pop,
she's a tweener. I mean, she could literally come out, do the $1 Million Man thing, where
I'll tell you what, man,
making fun of a kid from the stage, and people would still love her.
Becky Lynch is an amazing wrestler, and that's what Cody alluded to something similar to this on Twitter recently, where he was talking about how the binary of heels and faces is obsolete in wrestling. Or that it should be obsolete in wrestling.
He said it is.
Yeah, it is.
And I think to an extent it is, because people like who they like, and people don't like who they don't like.
And he put up a poll, well, maybe it wasn't him, it was some page that I follow. They put up a poll that said, is Becky Lynch heel? And the answers were yes, no, and the third option, which won the poll, was I reject this binary.
Right.
Yeah.
I think people boo and cheer who they want, but I also think that that heels and faces are still a thing.
Yeah. Because if you watch NXT, they cheer faces and they boo heels.
Well, I mean,
even ones that they like.
Anyone, anywhere. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you have, if you're a super face or a super heel, you're going to get that old school reaction.
Yeah, like Tommaso Ciampa versus Johnny Gargano.
Right.
Johnny Gargano is the definition of babyface.
Like Juice. Like
Tanahashi, Omega.
All right.
Maybe not so much Omega.
Yeah, not right now.
No.
Because there's been a lot of stuff going on between him and Tanahashi.
He's being a bit of a bastard.
Yeah. All right, so
moving on. We got Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre versus Ambrose and Seth Rollins. Drew and Dolph picked up the win, and people are saying match of the night.
Definitely was match of the night. And everything that these four guys do together or separate,
it's fried gold, baby,
is the reason why I watch Monday Night Raw or any Raw matches. Dolph and Seth have amazing chemistry. Everything that Seth and Dean do, whether it's together or against each other, is gold. And Drew McIntyre is, if by this time at the end of this time next year, if he has not won a world title, I will be astonished and perplexed. This match was a tag team gold. The finish was super clever. I believe Seth had Dolph up for another Falcon Arrow or something, and Drew came in and Claymore kicked Seth over, and
which caused Dolph to fall on top of him.
And it was awesome. On Raw, we got Drew McIntyre against Dean. Drew won. We got the IC title match. Dolph Ziggler losing to Seth. But I mean, everything these guys do, man, is just great.
Good shit.
If you look at our information on all of our YouTube like the information on our YouTube stuff, and you go to best matches of the week on weekly televised shows.
Every week on Raw, it's been Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler and Dean and Drew in some capacity. For almost every episode of Armbar Audio so far.
Yes. All right, so what's next?
We got AJ Styles defeating Samoa Joe in controversial fashion.
It is my opinion.
And it was a damn good finish. I don't care what anybody says.
It's a fantastic finish because it continues the feud.
And it has to continue. They are fucking magic together.
Anywhere they go.
Yes.
ROH, TNA,
oh my God.
WWE. This is so good.
But it makes sense that Joe and AJ have followed each other their whole careers. It's because they can't not work together.
Right. And the finish was like the Bret Hart Roddy Piper spot where and Kairi Sane just did that to win the NXT title.
Yes.
But you had the other camera angle that showed right before they counted the three he was tapping.
Yeah.
I mean, this is awesome. And it is
still pissed.
It is still to my belief that AJ Styles will have a record long title run. Probably
he's already
longer than Brock Lesnar's title run.
He's already beaten and been congratulated by JBL because he surpassed his record as longest reigning champion on SmackDown.
Yeah. I hope he surpasses Brock's reign. Even though they're different belts, it doesn't matter.
Well, the current longest reigning champion in WWE is Pete Dunne.
Right now.
Yeah.
But I'm saying of the modern era.
Okay.
They did the Brock Lesnar thing to get rid of CM Punk.
Yeah.
But I want AJ Styles to surpass
Which
Brock
is hilarious because even though they've already done
that,
they're calling this new thing best in the world.
And I think that, right. And I think that...
That really rubbed me the wrong way when you said it. Yeah.
After inviting AJ Lee to Evolution?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, the other thing is, like, where was I going? What was I saying?
You were talking about Joe and AJ's finish.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think I want AJ to outdo Lesnar's title run, and whenever he drops it, drop it to somebody like Samoa Joe, who he came up with, or somebody new, and he'll probably transition to a career at the Performance Center. I don't think after the title run he's going to do much else. No. He might have Mania matches here and there, but he'll probably go down to part-time.
This is definitely his, I forgot the term.
Magnum opus.
Yeah, magnum opus. I forgot the term as soon as I said the sentence.
That's why I'm here, bud.
Yep.
So, next.
We got... Oh, it was The Miz and Maurice versus Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella.
This is where the show... I was really into the show until this happened. There was a couple cool things where Miz put his hands on Brie and Daniel just lost it and said, "No one touches my wife," and they were doing the yes kicks together. I don't know why they're making Corey Graves a Miz mark like Cole was during 2011, back when Daniel Bryan and Miz were feuding in the beginning. The finish was lousy. It was really sloppy pin by Maurice. On SmackDown, they tried to do a angle where Maurice faked being injured after Daniel kicked Miz into her. She was found out to feign that injury, and Daniel Bryan kicked the crap out of Miz. He knocked off Maurice off the thing, off the apron. So the Miz and Daniel Bryan will continue in the form of, at Super Showdown, it's going to be the Miz versus Daniel Bryan.
And the winner, number one contendership.
Yes.
Yep. The winner will face the winner will face whoever wins out of Joe and AJ at a later date.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, look at those names. I want Daniel Bryan to win.
And I want AJ to win.
But if AJ wins... Yeah. See, I can't see Miz and Samoa Joe working together. I could see Miz and AJ working together.
You can't see Bryan and Miz working together? Or Bryan and AJ?
I'm saying... Hold on.
Okay.
I could see Miz working with AJ, but not Samoa Joe. So, if AJ retains and Miz wins, I could see Daniel Bryan getting pissed and inserting himself into that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Either way, it's going to be awesome because all four of those names are top-tier talent.
Yes.
So, what did you think of this match?
I didn't get to see all of it. I only watched the two cell matches and the title matches from Hell in a Cell because I was working that night and I haven't had time to sit down and watch the whole thing yet.
So let's go to the next match.
Yes, but I don't know, man. I need Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles to happen.
So do I.
I can't believe that you're saying you want Miz to win.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying it could be a triple threat match.
I don't want it to be a triple threat match.
But I want to see
one-on-one Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles.
And Daniel Bryan's first SmackDown match was against AJ Styles, but it got ruined by Nakamura.
Yeah.
But what if Daniel Bryan wins the title off of AJ, and then we get at Mania, The Miz versus Daniel Bryan for the title?
Yeah.
Or the other way around.
Yeah.
Miz takes it off AJ.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Miz could bring out another upside down belt with the M logo.
Anyways,
I like it.
What do we got next?
We got Ronda Rousey beating the ever-loving shit out of Alexa Bliss?
Actually, no.
Well, not really, no. But
this was a better
It was a way better
than
match.
before because Bliss got in a lot of offense. There was a lot of back and forth. Ronda sold injured ribs, and she came out victorious.
I like the underlying narrative that Bliss had more time to prepare for Ronda.
Yeah.
I like that.
I also like the underlying
And
narrative.
that she's learning. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The underlying...
Learning how to deal with Ronda.
Right. And also that Ronda's agreeing. You know, Alexa's saying, you know, I've been doing this longer than you. This ain't the UFC, blah, blah, blah. The only thing
it's really good storytelling.
The only good thing I could nitpick is when Ronda starts doing the flurry of punches and kicks.
Yeah.
Man, there should be a lot of selling and not going into the next thing. Because if you're taking punches and kicks from a UFC champion, you shouldn't be able to.
You shouldn't be popping right back up.
Yeah. But aside from that, I thought it was an alright match.
I think that's going to depend on who she's in the ring with. Some people just sell better than others. It's a fact.
Well, it's also down to time and what do we have to get in and all that stuff.
But Alexa is usually a very good seller.
Right. That's why it makes me think that, it's just a flurry of offense.
Yeah.
As per usual. No, it's not. It's different because she was in UFC. And those punches and those kicks and those knees,
they should
mean more.
Yeah, they should be
like Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. They let Brock do it.
So next.
Well, we got the main event, or what they claim to be the main event. Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman, which was a Hell in a Cell match that ended in a no contest for no fucking reason.
I went into this thinking Braun Strowman wasted a Money in the Bank because there's no way in hell Roman is going to lose his first title defense. I heard rumors that Brock Lesnar was backstage, which made me think he's going to get involved in some fashion because he never invoked his rematch clause. In between all this, in between Brock Lesnar and in between the Braun and Roman stuff, we got a lot of cool spots from Dolph and Drew and Seth.
Yeah, but all the cool spots
Dean.
had nothing to do with the match.
Right?
It's so dumb.
It had to do with the best talent on the Raw roster.
Yeah.
So, Brock Lesnar comes out, kicks the door down. For some reason, Paul Heyman maces Mick Foley. Like, Mick Foley can stop Brock Lesnar. I don't understand that. I didn't even understand why Mick Foley was in the goddamn thing. It was probably just for people like us.
Because he's Mick Foley, goddammit.
Yeah, it's just for people like us to get...
It was actually to promote his comedy special or whatever you wanted to fucking call that on the network right after.
Oh, yeah. Right. 20 years of hell. But the match was the worst part of the evening.
Yeah. Well, it involved Brock, so...
I mean, Hell in a Cell used to be vicious, violent, bloody, jumping off the top of the cell.
Like Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy was.
Yeah, but they made it inside the ring, which was okay. I just wish we could... There was a time where...
They didn't...
They used to go through the cell.
They got a brand new cage.
Yeah, and a brand new investor.
And
with
they
Fox.
They already let Brock kick the door off the damn thing. They got to put that back on. Which I'm sure costs money for some reason.
No, because on Raw, whenever Paul Heyman came out, they brought out the
door?
Yeah.
But I gotta imagine, like, repairing a cage like that, they probably gouge the price on WWE because they know that they have the fucking money.
So going forward, all of this is building toward Super Showdown.
Well, Paul Heyman
card?
Paul Heyman macing Mick Foley could have just been because Paul Heyman still hates Mick Foley.
Right. So all this is going toward Super Showdown. Aside from the main
Melbourne,
event,
Australia.
Aside from the main event, which will be at Crown Jewel.
No worries, mate.
So what is the card so far for Super Showdown.
Number 1, Triple H with Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker with Mayor Kane.
All right. And Sid asked, why is this even happening? And I said, nostalgia for a country who probably never got to see that live.
And because Triple H and Undertaker can still fucking go. And they're both awesome wrestlers. And I don't give a shit, dude. I know that I like all the new guys too, but I'm never going to not want to see Triple H in the ring. We got Bobby Lashley teaming up with John Cena to face the team of Elias and Kevin Owens.
Hopefully this sows the seeds for a John Cena-Elias match further down the road, and John Cena can put Elias over. Because last year...
Yeah, that makes sense.
Last year they had little stuff here and there.
You're right.
And then
you're right.
Elias's concert at WrestleMania was ruined by John Cena, I think.
Okay. Alright. At WrestleMania when John Cena came out to call out Taker, he interrupted Elias.
Yeah,
You're
but
right.
I think they did have a match on Raw and, stuff like that.
Yeah, and they had that little squash match spot at Mania. You're right. Okay, that makes sense. As we said before, number 1 contendership for the WWE title, Daniel Bryan versus The Miz.
Okay.
We got The Shield, Ambrose, Rollins, and Reigns, versus Braun Strowman, Dolph Ziggler, and Drew McIntyre.
The Dogs of War.
The Dogs of War versus the Hounds of Justice.
Yep. That should be fun.
If they're the Hounds of Justice, shouldn't the other team be called like the Dogs of Crime or something?
I don't know.
The Bella Twins and Ronda Rousey. Why are they making her team with the... I'm just looking at this for the first time and now I'm mad.
Because Nikki's going to turn on Ronda or some shit.
Damn it. Now I'm mad because I'm looking at this for the first time.
You already know at Evolution, Rousey versus Nikki Bella is going to headline.
Yeah.
So they had her at the coronation. The Bellas were at her side. They've been at her side this whole time.
I didn't
and
know
instead
this.
of Natalya turning on him, and turning on Rousey and actually having a good match at Evolution, they're going to have Nikki Bella turn and have a probably shit match at Evolution.
Well, it won't be shit if they allow Ronda to just decimate her.
Please.
Yes.
God, please. Pop her fucking tits. I don't care.
Pop her tits? Yeah, they're facing the Riot Squad. I like the Riot Squad.
On Monday, it was awesome because Rousey came out to do an open challenge.
Yeah.
And she was in the back with the Bellas and Natalya, and
Okay.
Natalya was kind of telling her you shouldn't do this. And when she made the announcement in the ring, you heard Natalya's music, and you're like, oh, Natalya's turning. But then the music stopped, and the Riot Squad pulled her out, Natalya out, and was like,
sucks.
see what you made us do? And then they started attacking Rousey, and then the Bellas came down, and blah, blah, blah. So it was building up to this.
That's cool.
I want to see Ruby Riott. I want to see Sarah Logan. I want to see Rousey. I want to see Liv Morgan. I don't want to see the Bellas.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. Next.
No countout, no disqualification match for the WWE Championship. AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe.
I don't care who wins. I win because it's happening.
Awesome. Weapons, weapons, weapons. Give me blood. Give me gore. Yes. We got Cedric Alexander versus Buddy Murphy
In his hometown.
in his hometown of Melbourne, Australia.
I'm going to tell you this. Everyone thought that they were building up Lio Rush to be the guy who defeats Cedric.
I mean, it might be, but they're going to have this special match at the Melbourne show.
Lio Rush is now Bobby Lashley's manager, but Drake Maverick also told him he still has to wrestle in 205 Live.
Yeah.
So
He said, if I still have to go to work, so do you, mate.
right. It was great to see Leo show off his athleticism on Monday night.
I've seen people compare. I saw a tweet that compared them to twins, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito.
Oh yeah.
And Little Man with Damon Wayans and D.L. Hughley. Was it Dale Hughley?
Probably.
I think. And I compared them to Freak the Mighty from the movie The Mighty. That's an old movie.
Oh, okay. I mean, I love the pairing. And since they're doing this with Leo Rush, it makes me think that Best Bout Buddy in his hometown may be the one to dethrone Alexander. Because guess what? And I know I'm going to get a lot of heat for this, for whoever's listening. Cedric Alexander's run with the title has been boring as shit.
Yeah, well, it's because he's boring as shit.
Correct. And no one wants to say it. No one wants to say it. He's boring.
I mean, he's
Mustafa Ali should have won the title.
He's good at what he does. He's just got no personality.
Exactly.
It's the same as Apollo Crews. He's an amazing athlete.
I think Apollo Crews could have personality. They should have did the Rocky Maivia. They should have did the Rocky Maivia to the Rock type of thing with Apollo Crews. Because Rocky Maivia just came out as a happy guy and smiled, and everyone hated him.
Yeah. We've got, as we said before, the New Day versus Dub Bar for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship.
I want the New Day to win. I want it to make the bar dissolve. And I want Cesaro as a singles competitor again. Please, Jesus.
Yeah. We've got Asuka and Naomi versus the Iconics, Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. Some more hometown? I know home country. I don't know about hometown.
Asuka and Naomi have been dominating them on TV. Yeah. So I could see the Iconics winning.
Yeah.
In some heelish fashion.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the Australian stars get the rub on the Australian show.
Yeah.
Because this is essentially a house show. It's not...
No.
Is it not?
I'm tired of that bullshit.
What?
First off, the Greatest Royal Rumble, everyone says, is a glorified house show. With what they're saying about Crown Jewel and this show in particular, with all the stipulations and the titles and all that stuff, I think WWE heard that and said, no, we're going to make these special now.
Okay, well, they could have done that with the Greatest Royal Rumble and didn't, so...
I agree with you.
Yeah.
But I think change gonna come. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's good because Beast from the East was fucking sweet. And then the
Neville versus Jericho. Kevin Owens and Finn Balor
in the ladder match.
It was that the ladder match.
The ladder match happened.
Never mind. Brooklyn. Or Chicago, one or the other. But go ahead.
No, that would have been Brooklyn.
Chicago, what was the end?
Happily.
Is that it?
No, we got currently in the last spot, so this can't be the main event, right? Becky Lynch and Charlotte? AJ and Joe is going to be the main event, yeah?
I imagine. Or the Shield versus...
Is the... Oh, you said that Brock Lesnar and Braun and Roman match is happening in Crown Jewel.
When is this happening?
This is October 6th, 2018.
So that's before Evolution? So So Becky will probably win here and lose at Evolution.
Who's she fighting at Evolution? Charlotte? Okay.
Most likely.
Okay.
I mean, the card was leaked, so they might switch things around. Who knows? But that's it for all that stuff. And it is time...
Super Showdown.
For the big question. The return of the big question. Listeners, Armbar Audiolites, you are probably shaking your head and grabbing your hair when we did the news, and you did not hear this. But this is part of the big question. Rey Mysterio has apparently signed a 2-year deal with the WWE. We don't know we don't know all the details. Apparently, some are saying he's allowed to still do all of his independent scheduled appearances.
That would make sense because that's what they did with Keith Lee and Ricochet and Pete Dunne. It would make sense if that's what they're doing.
He's allowed to have more creative control over his character, and I think within 18 months, there was a clause where he could say, "I don't want to do this. Let me out."
Please don't do it, Ray. We miss you.
No, Rey Mysterio has had an amazing run in Lucha Underground, in Japan, showing up at All In the UK. He's doing a lot of stuff. He's putting his son through many different
I still haven't got
wrestling
my match with
schools.
Will Ospreay, you son of a bitch. Give it to me.
Well, anyway, my big question for John and for myself is, you can only choose 3 matches.
Okay.
Who are your dream opponents for Rey Mysterio?
By the way, we can only choose 3 matches because we don't want this to go a whole nother hour.
Right.
Top of my head, Balor, AJ, Nakamura.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
Definitely.
I want to see all of them.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, I'm going to say Andrade, Cien, Almas.
Yes. That'd be cool.
La
Sombra.
Yes.
El Idolo.
Because he is a luchador. He is highly acclaimed. He hasn't had a bad match since he signed to WWE. And Ray can help put over Andrade as that next huge Latin star.
Speaking in that regard, maybe not a match, but having him have some backstage segments with the Lucha House Party and telling them to keep doing what they're doing.
Yeah, like kind of being like a motivator
being
for them
like
or something.
The legendary luchador coming to tell the new luchadors, like, yeah, you got to keep going. This is good.
I support you.
Yeah.
I want to see him wrestle Seth Rollins.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good.
I want to see him wrestle Drew McIntyre. I want to see... Yeah, that's 3. That's 3. Drew McIntyre, because Drew's in the best shape of his career, mentally and physically. And it's that big man versus small man stuff.
Did Drew and Rey Mysterio have a match in What Culture Pro Wrestling?
Not sure.
They were both there at the same time. I don't know if they
But
had
your
a match
Will
or not.
Ospreay match that you're begging for happened there. Didn't?
Yeah, but we're supposed to, I was promised another one.
Well, he still can do his dates.
I know.
Maybe he's signed for something in New
Yeah.
Japan. Who knows? But yeah. So, big announcement. This weekend, we will not only be on YouTube, we will be on Podbean and iTunes podcasts.
Well, we're trying to figure out iTunes.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out iTunes.
We know how to do it.
I think we're going to be on Spotify. You'll see.
We're for sure going to be on Podbean.
Well, you'll see a big announcement from me on Instagram and Twitter and our Facebook. So you don't have to use YouTube to hear us anymore. And
you still can if you choose to. Keep in mind.
And we will still have the YouTube because John and I have some great ideas
for some more visual-based content.
Yes.
Live action.
John, any last words?
My last words are, please listen to this on Podbean if you get the chance.
Podbean or wherever we show you in Instagram or wherever.
Because we want this to grow, and unfortunately we both feel the same way, that the way for it to grow is to take it places other than YouTube.
Yes, because as you all know,
because I love
you
YouTube.
Don't pay for
you know
YouTube,
I love YouTube.
If you don't pay for YouTube, you can't do other things while you're listening. You have to keep it open.
Yeah, the YouTube Premium is the only way to get background play, which is stupid.
So we're going to get on other platforms, and it's starting this weekend. We're going to have that information for you on all of our social media.
Yes.
Including our matches of the week in the info of this episode. So thank you for listening to the Omega Cast. Thank you for listening to Armbar Audio. Thank you for going with us into our next venture. We have a lot of plans coming forward that you all are going to love. And yeah, that's about it. To everyone out there listening, whether it's morning, noon, or night, you have a great one, and peace and love to all of you.
Goodbye and good night.